This video has been born out of my recent experiences with illness, chronic pain and fatigue. I am still in the long process of being diagnosed, though it looks likely it is a form of arthritis which affects mostly the spine. One of my latest flares, which lasted for around 2 months, was the most challenging I have ever been through. The whole of my spine, shoulders, hips and several other joints in my arms and legs felt incredibly stiff and inflamed. Most days I was in so much pain and feeling so weak that I found it very hard to do the most basic daily tasks. Perhaps the scariest part was the way in which my brain was affected. I often couldn't find my words, and when I did, I slurred them. I could just feel the brain fog coming, and with it came the confusion, the memory loss, the overall cognitive impairment, the terror, the tears. I stayed home alone most of that time, which made the whole experience even more suffocating. It was also the first time I experienced such debilitating levels of fatigue. As a single mother with a child who has some special needs, my whole world turned upside down. As I realized I wasn't able to function anymore, as I realized that it was no longer just my mind, but also my physical body, which was at breaking point. However, this video hasn't really come out of my frustration and despair, but out of my desire to share both the light and darkness of my journey with others. I guess it's also a byproduct of my deep yearning to unravel the mystery that pain is, of my need to understand it, to make some sense of it, to find its true roots. As I joined Facebook groups, read blogs and watched videos of other people living with similar chronic conditions, many also experiencing persistent pain and fatigue, I often felt identified with what I heard and saw. I saw myself in others and I saw others in me. I recognized all the different characters, ultimately all these diverse ways of experiencing pain, as parts of me. The part which feels lonely, needs caring and validation, and feels totally stuck in the mud, often just wanting to curl into a ball and completely disappear. The part which is absolutely determined and willing to overcome any obstacle and live life to the full despite all the pain and fatigue. The part which is ever so caring and loving and will do anything to take care of this aching body and bring it back to health. The part which is sad, frustrated and angry, fed up and often feeling on the verge of tears. The part which has had enough of this life and is ready to throw the towel once again. The part which is curious and inquisitive and just wants to observe and explore in order to understand the whys and hows of it all. The part which is wise, mindful and accepting and knows that this pain, no matter how intense or prolonged, it too shall pass. As I interacted with others in a similar situation, I started to see a clear pattern. I couldn't help but ask myself, what do those who always seem to be complaining about their pain get out of it? How important is validation when it comes to making sense of their experience of pain? What do those who are overcoming their illness and pain have in common? What is the secret to remission when it comes to chronic illness? Why is it that people with very similar symptoms seem to lead completely different lives? While some are stuck in bed most of the time, others are living what looks like a very busy life. Despite their pain and fatigue, they are still managing to find their spark. They seem extremely driven and still able to follow most of their dreams. We all have our ups and downs. It is the nature of life. But it didn't take me long to see that those who seem to complain less, be more accepting of their condition, while consistently focusing on what they can do rather than on what they cannot do, striving to create a fulfilling life for themselves despite their illnesses, seem to be the ones on the true healing path. Also, I realized that nobody experiences pain like anybody else, that we're all incredibly unique in the way we experience it, and that our unique experience of pain is a product of our unique ways of being, our unique past experiences, of our unique circumstances. It seems obvious, therefore, that when it comes to our pain, each of us needs to find our own unique healing path. Still, when it comes to pain and illness, there are some tools and practices which I think are pretty universal. As I realize the benefits of letting go of any mechanistic approach to healing, and as I gradually let go of my fight, of my desire to get rid of my pain, as I stop fearing it and start to understand it and embrace it more and more, as I approach my situation with more mindfulness than rejection, as I surrender and open up to new ways of experiencing myself through illness and pain, as I find meaningfulness and purpose in the discomfort of it all, as I focus on all the things I can achieve each day instead of just focusing on my limitations, I start to find a great deal of relief and serenity. Despite the ups and downs, the scary, debilitating flares, and the impermanence of pain-free moments, it feels that I am mostly at peace now and walking my own healing path. Also, I realize that I am not walking the path that leads to healing as a destination or a goal, but that I am walking the path of least resistance and most harmony, the path which, just by walking it naturally heals me. There ceases to be a destination. There's no longer a need to chase a cure, but just a burning desire to change my relationship with myself, with others and the world I live in. Now there's purpose, vision and trust. I realize that the healing path has no particular agenda, that it's quite simply the path whereby, by walking it, we feel more balanced, joyful, in harmony and at peace. With each new day living in pain, I become more aware that, actually, the most important part of this healing journey is not what physical stuff I put inside my body, such as what food or what medicine I am currently taking. Granted, some things are definitely helping me at this particular moment in my life. For instance, a healthy plant-based diet, avoiding certain trigger foods, as well as taking probiotics and regularly using CBD oil, which has been incredibly helpful, both for my mental state and also to alleviate my physical pain. And yet, despite the unquestionable importance of my environment, of all that which I perceive as external to me, including the stuff I decide to put or not to put inside my body, such as the food I eat and the medicines I take, when it comes to healing, I realize that I cannot allow myself to give too much power to it, as I notice more and more the intricate interplay between my inner and outer worlds. Each day I am more aware of the way in which my state of mind plays an enormous part in my life's play, including any illnesses and pain I go through. Deep down, the idea that I need something external to me as the most important ingredient that can fix my ill, painful or broken body parts feels fundamentally flawed. I just know I am a lot more powerful than I often allow myself to believe. As I walk this journey, I am learning that the most important piece of the puzzle is precisely inside of me, in all those intangible things I cannot possibly buy, consume, or be given in physical form. Healing is in the kind of narrative I create around my experiences, including all my experiences of chronic pain and fatigue. Healing is in how much meaningfulness and purpose I find in each and every moment of my life, no matter how hard it feels sometimes. Healing is in the degree to which I strive to create a reality in which my human needs are regularly met. It is in how much I truly love myself and express that love through all my actions. Healing is in how many times I do more of what feels good inside and less of what hurts me and others. Healing is in how authentic and nurturing all my relationships are. It is in the connection I feel with other sentient beings and nature as a whole. Healing is in how much I regularly challenge my beliefs and in how often I get out of my comfort zone. Healing is in the way I choose to give form to my emotions and how I aim to give true expression to each and every one of them. Healing is in how I address my traumas and fears to lessen the damage they cause to my mind and body. Healing is in how much I am aware of the unhealthy habits of the brain, the nature of our stress response, in how much I understand the true nature of pain itself. Healing is in how much I trust and believe in my body's own capacity to repair itself. Healing is in how often I honor movement and exercise. Healing is in my meditations. It is in my deep, long breaths. Healing is in how much I embrace the present moment and in how much I welcome change. Healing is in how often I follow the crumbs of excitement, in how I embrace and honor my circumstances, in how much joy I find in simply being alive, despite all my limitations. Healing is in how much I love and strive to serve others, in how much I ache to fulfill my true purpose and make a difference here on earth. Healing is in the extent to which I fall in love with my life each and every single day. This is what feels like the true healing path. Because ultimately, what heals us goes beyond our mechanistic and narrow-minded understanding of cause and effect. You just cannot put it in a pill. You cannot buy it. You cannot touch it. You cannot consume it. It's nothing which can be obtained out there, but that which is already inside all of us. Our pain needs to be listened to. However, as much as it is important to fully acknowledge and validate our darkest and most painful moments, which is why I started the videos I did, talking about what it feels like when I am in so much pain, so excruciatingly fatigued, and so stuck in such a dark frame of mind. It is equally important to never, ever forget that all those dark moments, no matter how difficult, they too shall pass. So we can learn to accept them, to be curious, to dig deep inside of us, striving to be more aware of our emotions and healthy habits and beliefs, and the way in which they are linked to the intensity of our pain and the evolution of our illness. We can learn to notice more and more that mind and body are not just connected, but intertwined manifestations of our whole state of being. Illness and pain are very physical indeed, but both their origins and continued presence within us have as much of a biological basis as they have a mental basis. Our bodies and minds cannot be separated in any way or form. Understanding this is crucial to our healing.